All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joe again with Rebel Woods Trading. Quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. I am not a professional financial advisor. This will be just a quick recap of the 5 instruments we made the trading plan on yesterday. We will start on the S&P 500/ES. Our initial plan was to wait for a pullback as it was sitting at initial highs. Our zone of interest is that demand zone that we highlighted. As you can see, we did state that the optimal entry would be to wait for a pullback towards that zone in order to enter the trend, as the trend is still going up. It did pull back. It pulled back to about the 27.65 zone. Not as far as we thought it would, but still an optimal entry point. If you look at previous supply, is sitting retest sitting just a little bit above that area. So in hindsight, we could have drawn the zone just a little bit below that area. Would have been perfect for that pullback entry, but nevertheless, it did go to plan, pull back towards the zone before shooting back up towards new highs on the ES. We shall now go to the NASDAQ. And give me just a moment to get a hang of this new fancy tool that I have here for drawing on the screen. Pretty nice once I get used to it. Just a moment here. All right. On slashing Q, we had a similar plan to the ES. On this one, however, we did not get as much of a pullback as we did on the ES. So there would have been no trade on this on the day. ES looks like it provided a better entry for anything, as we still have quite a bit of distance between the zone and the pullback, very slight pullback on the NASDAQ. Moving on from that, let us bear with me here with my eraser. Take a look at crude oil. And crude oil as well, barely any movement. We had less than a 70-cent zone, so not as much movement as we'd like to see. Still aiming for a deeper pullback towards that 54.75 zone before we look for any entries to the upside. If you'll notice, even though the price did kind of move down there, it eventually pulled back and closed just about even to the prior day, so really no movement in crude oil today. Moving on to the Dow. Dow continued further up today, did not move down, so still looking for structure to the left, no significant structure. The plan for this will remain pretty much the same. No significant change in zones that we're looking at. Still looking at the major zone right about 25,600 before we look to enter long, as this is still in the uptrend. We won't fight the trend, however we will also not chase the trend. You wait for an optimal position to enter. Need a pullback towards that 25,600 zone before we look for any entries to join the trend. And finally, we'll look at the Russell. Russell also did not have a pullback significant enough to join the trend today. It simply continued higher and continues to provide no structure to the left. It will, however, set up, looks like here, another zone of entry a little bit higher. Looks like it's setting up a pretty decent supply zone right here at about the 1565 area. So should this continue further up tomorrow, we'll be looking at a supply zone being formed at about the 1565 area. That would be our downside target. We'd look for a pullback to 1565 before looking to take an entry and join the trend further up. Should this break below the 1565 zone, we'd be looking at a downside target of about 1550. So that is a recap of the trading plan. I'll be posting another trading plan highlighting our outlook for tomorrow later. Thank you.